Hello, everybody. My name is MJ the Tutor, and you are listening to Accounting Makes Sense, an MJ the Tutor podcast. This podcast focuses on helping accounting students all over the world by offering a quick warm up on various accounting and business topics that hopefully leads to the generation of bigger discussions and conversations. For all those studying or thinking about doing CIMA right now, this is for you. Before we get into this episode, let's start with a fun reference. As the show notes explained, this post is inspired by the classic episode on Friends entitled The One with the List. In that Friends episode, Ross made a pros and cons list to decide between his current girlfriend, Julie, and his forever crush, Rachel. As you can probably guess, this had such a disastrous aftermath, as Rachel took offense when she found out that Ross made the list, even though Ross decided to go with Rachel regardless of the list. Anyways, before I get too deep into that rabbit hole, let's circle back to the real subject of today's podcast. While making a pros and cons list can sometimes help in making decisions, it can also oversimplify complex situations, as shown by that Friends episode. In business, we can use a more structured, more comprehensive approach, such as the force field analysis. The force field analysis was developed by Kurt Lewin, a pioneer in social psychology. Yep, it's the same guy who brought us the ice cube model or three-step model. So, the force field analysis is a method that helps businesses and individuals understand the factors that influence a situation, decision, or change. By identifying and evaluating the forces that drive or resist a particular change, we are more able to make informed decisions. Sounds interesting, right? Let's break it down a little bit more. Imagine a school considering implementing a new online learning platform. The goal is to enhance the learning experience, especially in support of remote education. How do we determine if this change is likely to be successful? Let's use the force field analysis to see how it will work in this situation. First, we define the change. So in this case, very simply, it's implementing a new online learning platform. Next, we identify the driving forces. These are factors that support or push towards the change. Here are some of the driving forces that you could encounter. First, the new platform will improve access to resources. Students and teachers can access a wide range of educational materials online. For ranking, let's give this a strength rating of 5. Next, the new platform opens up the opportunity for flexible learning. Students can learn at their own pace and schedule, which can be beneficial for those with different learning styles. For ranking, let's give this a strength rating of 4. Third, the platform will enhance communication. It will provide tools for better communication between students and teachers, such as forums and instant messaging. This will have a strength rating of 4. Lastly, the platform will provide data tracking. Teachers can track students' progress and performance more effectively, which we could rate with a strength of 3. Now, let's look at the restraining forces, which are the factors that oppose or resist the change. First, there is the issue of cost. There's a high initial cost for purchasing the platform and ongoing subscription fees that go with it. Let's give this a strength rating of 4. Secondly, there could be technological challenges. Since not everyone is the same with their ability to use technology, some students and teachers may face difficulties in using the new technology. This is rated with a strength of 3. Thirdly, there could be resistance to change. Change of any kind is always unsettling, even if it's for good change. Teachers and students may be resistant to changing from traditional methods to online learning. Let's give this a strength rating of 4. Lastly, Internet access may be an issue. Not all students may have reliable internet access at home, which we rate with a strength rating of 5. To visualize this, I'll make the suggestion for you to actually grab a page of paper and draw a line down in the middle, creating 2 columns, one for driving forces and one for restraining forces. Next to each force, we'll write down the strength rating I just gave for each of them. So for driving forces, you will have 4 of them, which is improved access to resources with a 5 rating, flexible learning with a 4 rating, enhanced communication with a 4 rating, and data tracking with a 3 rating. On the other end, you will have restraining forces, cost with a 4 rating, technological challenges with 3 rating, resistance to change with 4 rating, internet access with 5 rating. Now, if you add each of the columns up, you'll get to 16 on both sides. In this case, what it means is the total strength of the driving forces is equal to the total strength of the restraining forces. This indicates a balanced situation where the driving forces are just as strong as the restraining forces. Now, to tip the balance in favor of the driving forces, we need to develop strategies to strengthen them and reduce the restraining forces. So some strategies that we could apply here is we could provide training. By offering comprehensive training sessions to teachers and students, we'll be able to make them more comfortable with the new platform. We could highlight the benefits of the platform. By communicating the benefits to the teachers, the students, and the parents, this will likely reduce resistance because now they know what they are going to gain out of it. We could also implement a pilot program where we start off with this pilot program before we actually do full implementation. The pilot program will be able to show the effectiveness of the platform before we go on full implementation. How do we reduce restraining forces? So some strategies could be that we seek funding to help us cover the initial cost and ongoing cost of the platform. We could apply for grants or things like that, which are available to schools or educational institutions. We could provide technical support to help students and teachers overcome technological challenges. This may vary, of course, but it will certainly alleviate some of the initial bigger hurdles of technological challenges. Lastly, we could find internet access solutions. We could work with local community organizations to provide solutions for students who are currently without reliable internet access. By implementing these strategies, the school can tip the balance in favor of the forces, driving forces at least, increasing the likelihood of a successful implementation. So, that's a simple look at our exploration of the force field analysis. Thank you for today's episode. My name is MJ the Tutor, and I am your host for Accounting Makes Sense, an MJ the Tutor podcast. I hope this episode has been beneficial to you. If you enjoyed the show, please hit subscribe or follow to catch the release of the next episode. You can also connect with me on various social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and X under the handle MJ the Tutor. You can also visit my website, www.mjthetutor.com. So, till next time, guys. Ciao for now!